Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Commander review for Magic the Gathering. Today we're talking about Shizuko, Caller of Autumn from the Betrayers of Kamigawa set. Shizuko is a legendary snake shaman. It's a 2/3 with a mana value of 3, 1 generic and 2 green. And then it has this long triggered ability. And I'll read off my phone for any errated text on it. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player adds 3 green mana. Until end of turn, they don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So this is still temporary green mana. During their upkeep, they will get that 3 green mana, and they can have it until the end of their turn. So it's not like they can continuously ramp like Locus of Mana, Omnath Locus of Mana, where you can just infinitely store mana into the Locus. This is temporary mana, but it does last the player the whole turn. Good news is it does give you 3 mana on your upkeep as well. Bad news is your opponents are going to get access to that mana first, because it triggers on every opponent's upkeep, or every player's upkeep. So this is kind of a group hug commander, but it's still pretty cool. It's going to ramp you, and we're going to use that mana, hopefully more efficiently than our opponents, and we're going to build around that just to guarantee it. So aside from every player getting the 3 mana to use, there are no other card rulings for this commander, so that's really nice. Very straightforward, very easy. A card I chose to synergize with this commander is just adding a little bit of redundancy. If for some reason they kill off your commander for some reason, you have another way to ramp the whole table, but mostly we're going to focus on ramping ourselves by giving everyone 2 green mana. So it's just a little bit of redundancy with your commander. However, if you are able to have this and your commander in play, you're going to be ramping 5 mana on everyone's turns, which is pretty cool. The deck idea that I have built for this commander is, of course, Snake Tribal, because I love snakes. I think they're really cool, and we're going to go wide with snakes, and we're going to go tall with them by using Snake Lords to give them awesome abilities. And if you are able to benefit from the 3 mana from your commander, plus the 2 mana from the Eladamri's Vineyard, that can give you 5 mana right there that you can spend to put into Orochi Hatchery, but that's also the 5 mana you need to activate it every time, which is really cool. So that's a great way that you can flood the board with snake tokens. A popular deck idea on EDH Rec is, of course, going all in on the mono-green group hug strategy, and in the video that you're looking, in the shot you're looking at right now, it's very traditional group hug where you really are benefiting every player. You're giving them extra mana, you're letting them double up their mana from their mana sources, and you're letting them draw cards. The way you want to win with this deck, and when I do my deck lists for this, depending on how I am doing my deck lists by the time I get to this video, we'll see. The way you win with this strategy is you want to outvalue or even punish the value of your opponents while you are forcefully giving them all this advantage. And there are a few ways of doing that depending on which way you want to do it. Whether you want to outvalue them or punish them for their value, there are different ways to handle that. We'll see what I can show you guys in the more full-depth deck list, but essentially, this is a traditional group hug strategy. And then lastly, we really want to take advantage of all this extra mana we are making from our commander. And I thought, what a more fun way to utilize this extra mana than to build a mono-green cycling deck. And you'd be thinking, why would you do cycling? That's so lame. Why not put all that mana into like an activated ability deck where all your creatures and stuff have these crazy activated abilities that you can flood your mana into? Well, I didn't think about that when I was making the presentation. I thought cycling, because that's really cool. Because what better way to use your mana for than to burn through your whole deck? And we've gotten so much cycling support throughout the years of Magic's history that I can totally see building a mono green cycling deck I just haven't done enough research yet to see the full potential of how we would utilize that. But green has great ways to do some fun graveyard recursion, so we can cycle things like Croissant Tusker, which lets us get land cards into our hands, so it's kind of ramping us essentially, or it's at least drawing us cards from our graveyard on top of the draw that's already doing. Fluctuator will just let us pretty much cycle for free, which is really cool, or in Croissant Tusker's case, just 1 green mana, which is really cool. So I think this would be a lot of fun. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Any other cards that would be really good in this deck, maybe. But a mono green cycling deck would be a lot of fun, since you have all this free mana that you can use throughout your whole turn. And that's going to do it for Shizuko, Caller of Autumn. Really popular commander because, again, you are a group hug deck, but the group hug is providing mana, and mana is extremely important in this game. So you're going to use that mana a lot in a lot of different ways. And you can check out that more on EDH Rec at those deck lists where I got a lot of my inspiration from. But essentially, lots of different deck ideas. So this does have the ranking of S as a commander because there's a lot of ways you can take this, like cycling, which I think is really cool. Really cool card though. Can't wait to build around it. Can't wait to play with it. And I can't wait to hear your guys' comments and questions about this commander or any of the cards I've talked about or deck ideas I've talked about in this video. Couple things before I end. If you haven't seen my previous videos yet, go check them out, because once we end this set and we start the Saviors of Kamigawa set, I'm going to try and shorten the videos up, because I want these to be nice, short videos where we focus on talking about what the commander does, how the commander works, are there any special case rules we need to know about. The deck ideas and the deck lists are a bonus to that. So I'm going to try and shorten up the videos a little bit more with the Saviors of Kamigawa. So we'll see how that works when I start recording those. Secondly, speaking of deck lists, I am starting deck lists. I don't know how deck lists are going to be by the time I'm making them for this video, but as of right now, you can start going back to the Legends set, and I have deck list links in the descriptions of those videos. I've been testing them. They should work. They should take you to the deck lists. So go ahead and start checking those out. And then lastly, thank you guys so much for your patience. I'm catching up on work. We're going to be caught up. I feel pretty confident about what I'm doing here, but it does mean you guys are going to wait a little bit longer for these videos to come out, because I'm spreading them out along with my Let's Play videos instead of on top of each other like I normally do. So once I get enough ground that I feel comfortable that I can stay on top of it, then I'll start getting back to doubling up my Let's Plays and my Commander review videos, but until then I'm going to spread everything out as best as I can. So thank you guys so much for your patience. Can't wait to hear your guys' comments in the comment section down below. And lots of work to do, but we're going to get there. So thanks again, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!